Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends Thanos figure, and oh my goodness, have I never been happier to get a figure that's basically a repaint. This is such a welcomed addition to the collection. You don't even know. It's still not the classic Thanos, but boy is this a nice version of Thanos. The Build-A-Figure one, basically the same figure. I mean, obviously we have a couple different parts here and there, and we'll talk about that, but it was very drab and bland and just really didn't work for many people. It was like, yeah, we finally got it, but it's not great. This is the correction to that. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 20 centimeters to the top of his head, which makes him just shy of 8 inches. And this figure is, for a Marvel Legends figure, beautiful. It looks really, really nice. Most of that is just due to the fact that they used this super nice metallic blue plastic. It's a little marbly for my taste, but it still looks awesome. Very, very nice. Looks really, really good. It catches the light and just throws it right in your eye. It's super metallic and shiny and just looks great. And on top of that, they did some silver line work throughout the arms, and of course that kind of like corrugated stuff down there by the knees, and that really helps to bring that blue out. It looks fantastic. A little bit more on the fists. Unfortunately, the gold, while it's way better than the first one, if memory serves, it's still packed away. I haven't been able to unpack everything yet. It looks really nice. It's a nice saturated gold. It's not anywhere near as metallic as I'd like. I'd love to have like a really, like if they painted it to be like very metallic rather than just moldy gold. Molded gold, moldy gold. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, it's not as metallic as I'd like, but it still looks really nice. The painted part on here, not as good as it could have been. We've seen them paint metallics fantastically before. This is just okay. And then we do have a little bit of yellow up here, which still looks nice. So overall, the aesthetic is so much better than the first one. And hey, we have the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Gems, Infinity Gems, Infinity Stones. I gotta figure out what the official name is, because I keep thinking both are right. Anyway, those are painted nicely, so that's good. Very nice. Oh, look, his head looks really good this time, too. Very, very nice. There's a wash on it. It's a nice saturated purple. Maybe it's a bit dark, but still looks really, really good. Now, as far as accessories go, we do have an alternate head. One where he's just making like a kind of stern, grimacy face, no pun intended. Okay, I intended it. And then we also have an alternate hand, which is not wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. So you definitely have some options here that we didn't have before. Man, it's just nice to get this version, because it just, boy, is that a nice looking figure. It's not the most detailed figure or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, it's still a Marvel Legends figure, so anybody out there who doesn't particularly like Marvel Legends, you could pick it apart if you wanted to, but for the price point, and I think they got away with it because they've already charged us for this mold at least once, or once already, it still looks really, really, really good. I love it. I love the way it looks. Okay, now as far as articulation goes, we still suffer from the same issues that we had before, which is unfortunate, but I mean, we have to live with it, I guess. So the head is on a ball peg, on a hinge. You still get very little range out of that because of the way the head sits. You're going to be able to look down a little bit, which is fine. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get much more out of it anyway. And you can't really look up too far, but, you know, it's okay. The head sits nicely on the neck. No wiggle side to side, but you can rotate it, of course, so that's good. This is a separate piece, so it won't, like, get in the way too much. You can kind of flex it a little bit or get it out of the way, but the arms have pretty much perfectly horizontal range. Let me peg that back in. You don't really have to move it. You can, but you don't need to going out to the side. The arms work just fine. Going forward, you can get them horizontal-ish before you really have to start flexing that shoulder piece too much, and then it'll pop off. But you still get decent enough range, and the shoulders themselves can handle it. It's just this piece is in the way. There's nothing you can do about that. Bicep swivel's okay. It's a little bulky, so it gets in the way here and there, but it's fine still. Single jointed elbow, not quite 90 degrees on this side because the Infinity Gauntlet gets in the way. On this side, same thing, only it's not the Infinity Gauntlet, so not the best range in the elbows, but I think it's acceptable. You have your wrist swivel and hinge. The hinge is minimal, but it's enough to give him that cool Infinity Gauntlet pose. And then the same thing for the ungauntlet hands. You have the hinge. It's a little more effective on the fist one. Full rotation. Let's try this hand. Let's see what kind of range we get. Pop off the Infinity Gauntlet. Pop off that piece. Put on this piece. And put on this hand. Let's see what kind of range we get on this. Much better than the Infinity Gauntlet because it's a little less bulky. But yeah, you know, that's fine. It's bulky, so it's going to be limited. That's okay. Now here's one of the issues, the diaphragm or the ab crunch. You can force it back and you get one notch and it kind of just sticks there. And he's leaning back a little bit. All right, and then you can kind of force it forward and not let it catch the next ratchet so that he's standing straight up, but he will eventually catch the next ratchet because it's fighting you the whole time. And the forward ratchet, at least on mine, is super floppy and it tends to lean forward. So you only have those two positions, all the way back or floppy and forward. So it's a little bit of an issue. Hopefully mine is the only one like that. It tends to be the case when issues arise, so hopefully yours is good. Waist twist is okay, though limited. This piece is a floating piece, but it's rather large and sturdy, so it doesn't really want to flex too much. So your waist twist, you're going to have to force it. For the hips, not too bad. Again, this is pretty solid, so you're not going to be able to flex it too much, but you can bring the legs forward, and you can bring them back a little bit, and going out to the side is basically impossible. I think it's mostly just from the sculpt and not the skirt, but it could be a little bit of both, but almost no range out to the side. The thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knees are fine. Of course, you don't need that much range in the legs because the hips don't work that well, so that's definitely a bummer. It would have been nice to see a couple of slits in here to allow better flex. But you do get double jointed knees, which just about give you 90 degrees. Definitely could be better, but it'll do for Thanos. He doesn't need to do much but punch people, or even that he shouldn't really have to do, honestly, most of the time. You do get a boot swivel, which is fine, and then for the ankles, you can bring the feet pretty far forward, all the way back, and you get a really nice ankle rocker. So, is it a perfect figure? Definitely not. But is it a badass Thanos figure? Absolutely. And should everybody get one? Absolutely. If you're collecting Legends and you don't buy this figure, you're a silly person. You should definitely get it. It's beautiful, it's going to look great on a shelf, and it's easily the best Thanos figure we have in the Marvel Legends line. Sure, you can make arguments for the Marvel Select, but that's not what we're doing. We're talking Marvel Legends. So definitely get one. It's awesome. Track it down, get it on eBay. You can find them for like $30, which, considering they're an exclusive and hard to find in the store, to pay only $10 on top of that on eBay is not much at all. So go ahead and track one down. You're gonna definitely enjoy it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.